Okay, this would be considered logs day 2. So, what was logs day 1 about? Most things. Problem. I have no idea what exponent would work here. 5 to the something would be 8. Some decimal. Would you agree that I know that the answer is bigger than 1? Would you agree that 2 would be 2? Because if I put a 5 to 25, right? So it's got to be between 1 and 2. Part of your assignment is that simple today. It's just estimate about what the answer is. I'd like you right now, don't write it anywhere, but just want you to think in your head. You know it's between 1 and 2. It's 1 point something. I want to see who's closest. Think. All right. I'd like you to write it on your iPad. Write your answer. And whoever's closest will receive a small prize. Good question. Go 2 decimal places if you want to, like 1.79 or something like that. Okay? I'm not saying that's the right answer, of course. All right, now how do we know that you didn't say that, yeah, well, I said that. You know, like when I tell you the answer is 1.79. Okay? If not, but how will we know? Only if you turned and showed yours to somebody right now before you know what the answer is. Would you turn and show yours to somebody? So suppose what you said the answer was. I'm seeing answers all the way from 1.1 to 1.4. 1.4 something. Can you give me a guess here first? All right. Now, how do we get the exact answer? We do it as a log. We go log, and then what? Log, no, don't log 5. You say log base of 8 x. Now, this right here can be put on the calculator. It's a base 5 right now, but your calculator can only do base 10. So I showed you yesterday how to type it in, and what did I say to do? Log what? Log 8 over log 5. And now think about this. Do you get that that has changed the base because these don't even have a base? Like there's no base written on that one. And there's no base written on that one. If there's no base written on them, what is the base? Nope. 10. If there's no base written on a problem, then that means you have changed it to base 10. So when they ask you today or on the test, change this, which is a base 5 right now, to a base 10, all you got to do is what I showed you yesterday. You just rewrite it as log 8 over log 5, and you've automatically changed it to a base 10 because if you didn't say anything for a base, that implies base 10. All right. Now, how would we do this in the calculator? I want to do something we almost never do. Use your iPad calculator. Your iPad calculator does logs just fine. So go ahead and use your iPad calculator. Open it up. Yes, go ahead. And do your log 8 divided by log 5. And remember to do the parentheses right so that you don't screw that part up. And it's 1 point something, and what is it? 1 point what? 1.10 is rounded correctly, or would it be 1.3 if you rounded it? It's 1.29. Who had 1.29? Who had 1.28? Nice. Did anybody have 1.28 something? I suppose I asked you to do two decimal places. How about 1.27? Raise your hand if you had 1.27. All right, so who had 1.28? Who had 1.3? Congratulations. Here. Take a small prize out of the prize bag. Okay. Now, that's obviously super accurate. We're only off by 100th. You don't have to be that accurate in your homework, but that's one of your things, is to estimate about how much it is. This next one, I hate to say, is not going to be rewarded with food. I realized I thought I'd have one winner. I had 4 times as many winners as I thought I would have. So this one is just plain for the pride of it. See who can get this one. Log base 9 of 48 in your head. So again, what you should be thinking is a rewrite would mean I'm going to put an X over here because there's no x equals 48 must be 1 point something, because 9 to the 1 would be 9, 9 to the 2 would be 81. And then you got to think logically, is it closer to the 1 or closer to the 2? And all right. Give your guess. Show your guess to somebody. I think this one's going to surprise a lot of people. So what should I type into my calculator? Log what? Log over log 9. Final answer 1.76. I bet all of you thought it was lower than that. All right. Really close to 1.76. What were you at? Wow. You had 1.76? Did you show it to anybody? Oh. Did he? Okay. All right. There you go. Hit it on the nose. Even though I said I wasn't going to pay off, I'm going to pay off for hitting it on the nose to the 100th. That's impressive. All right. Now, you can see that you can do logs in your head. You don't really have to have the calculator. You know what I'm saying? Heck, we're getting it to and some people anyway. Okay, so anyway, they aren't. It is hard to do them perfectly. To average the class, I bet you would have had about 1.6 or something, and you know it's still off. Calculators are handy. You're not going to be able to use them though on the whole test. There's going to be a bit of it where you can use the calculator. All right, the next part. Please stay with me. The next part is to get logs that have little patterns in them. This one. If I rewrote this as a variable like equals x, now I can say 3 to the x equals, and then I come back over here, what I say? No. 3 squared. Why did I want to leave it as 3 squared? Because same base, see? And then x will equal 2. What I did, 3 to the x equals 3 to the second. And now that the bases are the same, the exponent will be the same, and therefore the answer is x equals 2. Maybe you need a little practice on this, or with your iPads. And okay, now we're going to this. 9 squared equals 3x. Do you agree if those 9s are the same? Those bases are the same. The exponents have to equal each other. So it's really 2 equals 3x. And then you just solve. Remember how to do that? Okay, next kind. Let's say it's 9, or no, let's say it's 3. And let's say it's 9 there. They don't have the same base, but you can make them have the same base. So I rewrite the 9 as what? 3 squared. And then all of a sudden, the only, wait, 3 squared, I don't know what just happened there. 3 squared. Now equals this. And what's the way the 2x can equal 2? It's x equals 1. So there equals 1. So how about a harder team? The person who wrote fourths and stuff. And that's to the 2x equals 1/4. If you think about that, that's a pretty tough problem. But it's not that hard if you rewrite them and have the same base. If I was forcing you to ask this question before you learned about thing, that's kind of a hard. People on the street couldn't answer that question. But now, writing things in the blue there to be, what, 2 or 4s? 4 2s. Either way could work. Okay, how many of you would choose to rewrite them as 2s? How many of you would rather do 4s? All right, there's more 4s, so I'm going to go with that. Part here is a 4 to the what? 4 to the negative. This part here needs to be written as a 4 to the negative 1. You have to to the power of 2x. And now bases are the same. I can this part. So my answer is negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x equals negative 1. Final answer, x equals, divide by 4, 1 4. 1 4. There we go. So that has to be 1 right there. All right, I'd like you to try one now on your iPad. Try this. To the x over 2 power is equal to 27. That's a tough one. You got to rewrite them to have the same base. The 3 can be left alone, right? Because the 27 could be rewritten as. Come here. 27 could be rewritten as what? To the third. And now, it's really not that bad. Mr. G, tell me what to do. How about this? Right. Big quick. There you go. And now what? And now what? X equals 6. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Okay, good. That's going to come up a lot today. And then the last thing is there are little shortcuts. You're going to like these shortcuts. They will save you a ton of time. I mean, if I had log base 3 squared, I could do this whole rewrite. So 3 to the x equals 3 to the second. But that takes time. X equals 2. You see that? If I go back to the original problem, do you get right off the bat how I could have known the answer was 2? Where do you see it? Right. The answer is going to turn out to be 2. Let me show you another one. Log base 9 of 9 squared. What do you think the answer is? 2. So if I change this to a 7, is it going to work now? Nope, not going to work anymore. All right, yes, these have to be the same. Now what if I change this to a 1/5 power? The answer is 1/5. How could I prove it? I set this up and said equals x, and then I 9 to the x equals 9 to the 1. 9 to the x equals 9 to the 1/5, and then you realize, oh, that was a lot of work for nothing. Just x equals 1/5. This rewrite of, do you remember how to generally rewrite these logs? Let's say it was just like this. You get that it's 9 to the x equals this. That's what I'm. So let's have another one. Log base 8 of 2. In your head, if you could rewrite the 2 as 8 to the something. Now I started out with the hard one. How about if I change this to 64? Do you get that 64 as 8 to the something? What could the 64 be? 8 to the... Nope. 64 could be 8 to the second. You get how it's... I just rewrote 64 as 8 squared. Now what's the answer? 2. See how you can solve your problems really fast? If I had done it the old school way, I would have had to go like this. Equals x. 8 to the x equals 64, and then I'd have to think it through and go 8 what to the what? Oh, that's got to be to the second. You can do them that way, but it's faster to know the properties. So the property says this. Log base a of a to the 5th would be, in other words, if these, and that's the, I got a couple others that are like that. Pay attention. I'm this way. iPad on front. There you go. Okay. Now let's say we were doing log. Okay. This is a weird one. 5 to the power of log base. I know this seems like, whoa. So you got a power inside of an exponent. There's a simple answer. It's 20. If these two are the same, then that's the answer. Yeah. Watch. I don't have a variable yet, so I can say equals x. Then I can do a rewrite as a log, because see, this is the base right here. I can go log base 5 of x, see, I go over here and pick up that, is equal to all of that. I know some people's brains are about to explode, but I just did a rewrite because this was an exponential. This is a base to an exponent equals a number. So I did a rewrite as a log, and now watch what happens. Cancel, cancel, my log is gone, x equals 20. Now, wouldn't it have been a lot simpler to just notice that if this and this are the same, then the answer is that? Way easier. Okay, so let me show you one. Log, let's say this is 8, 12. What's the answer? 12, see? Once you learn these properties, it makes them much, much faster. All right, one more. Okay, this situation. Log base 19. I know the answer already. Anybody figured it out in your head? Raise your hand if you know it. 3 people. All right. What is it? Say it if you know it. 0 is correct. Now, here's how I say equals x, and then I go 9 to the. It's got to equal. The hard part is realizing, oh, wait a minute. The 0 power will make it equal 1. So the answer is 0. What's the magic here? The magic here is if here, then called the spot called it's for a 1. Automatic answer of what? 0. It's another property. Log base n of what's the answer going to be? No, wait, sorry, I did it wrong. Log be 0. Now, can you do these without these properties? Yes. When you forget, you just go rewrite it and you go n to the x power has to equal, and you think it through and you go, oh, if that was 0, then it would work, so x equals 0. So you don't have to, but every time if you do, got a whole page of them, and after I explained this, I looked at the kid in the front row, and he had answered, after I said go, in 1 minute, he had a whole page of them, of these log questions. And if you try to work them out as equations, you won't answer all the page in a minute. Okay, so they can make your answers go really fast. So let's see if you really learned. Say I had log base of 25. What's the answer? 2. How'd they get there so fast? They changed 25 to what? 5 squared. And if this 5 squared, they know that it's just got to be 2. Because if these, that's the answer. All right, how about another one? 9. Log base of 18. What's 18? Done. Easy. Okay, how about this? Log 4 of 1/4. -1 is right. Because you could rewrite this 1/4 for. That's the answer. Okay, that's properties. And let's start your work. Everybody find your worksheet. It looks like this. No, you do not have to properties, but I'm telling you, it'll be faster and easier, and you'll like it better if you do the properties. All right, so here is your worksheet. Now, this very first one, and notice it says no calc. I'm serious about that, because obviously any log problem can be done with a calculator in just like seconds. And you're not really, I could train a capuchin monkey to do that. So you're not really learning anything, you're just typing things in the calculator. All right, so don't use the calc unless it's, and I'll tell you right now, the only place you can use the calculator in this whole worksheet is the very end of it when they ask for the 5 or the 4 values here at the end. Those you can use a calculator. The whole rest of it, you can't. All right, so let's go up here. And let's do number 1 together. First off, if you learned anything about those properties, you could right away rewrite that as 4th Good. And what's the answer then? 3. How quick and easy that was? Now, if I did this as the directions say, though, convert it into exponential form, then I have to say like this. 1/4 to the x has to equal 1/64. Yes, I can figure that ahead and say, oh, x has to be 3. Or I can find a common base and then go 1. And then I'll say, oh, x has to equal 3. This way I just taught you about using the properties is really fast. All right, move down and do number 2 together, or part of number 2. Number 2, evaluating using properties. Oh, cool. So then what's the answer to the first one? 5, 6, done. You know the properties. See how fast that can be? All right, one more warning. You're going to hit a few that are impossible. Everybody stop, shut your iPad. You don't have to like completely turn it, just shut it so its face is down. Just need your full attention, and I know I won't get it while you're doing your homework. I'm still waiting for some people. Come on. All right. This number can never be negative or 0. If it ever is, the answer is just really simple. Defined. This number also, the argument, never be negative or 0. If it is, the answer is automatically undefined or 0. I'm fine with you writing either of those. But if this number, say like right there, oh, there's a negative right there, that is not allowed, and it's also not possible. If you like try to figure out, you can't make it work. Like if I put an x right here and try to solve it, you will never find an answer. If you calculate it, the calculator would say error. So if you ever have a negative here, or even zeros there, and the answer is this, or undefined. Undefined is technically the best answer. I'm just giving you a shortcut. Okay, that's it. Back to work. If you need help, ask. Yes. N as in Nancy. All right, I'll help you with that. Would you agree that 4 to the root 3 could be rewritten as 4 to the 1/3 power? And then automatically, boom, boom, the 4s are the same. Get it? Okay. Which one? G. Okay. G. That's the one where, remember, if these two are the same, we had an automatic answer. 13. It's just a property. Okay. All I got for the video for today. Actually, I'm going to continue recording for just one more thing. Down in this bottom section here, like on number 3A, I just want to talk you through what the BTWN means. Do you guys know that that's shortcut for something? It's saying the answers between what and what. For instance, a lot of these answers are going to be between 1 and 2, or between 2 and 3. And you know how we were given a decimal answer for it? All you have to say is like it's between. Don't have to say it's 0.83. Just say between this and this. So on this first one, it's really like this. 4 to the, I'm going to put a little imaginary equals x here. 4 to the x has to equal 5. I know that can't be 1, has to be bigger than 1, so it's between 1 and 2. And then it says EXPR, expression in base 10. Are you with me? You need to be with me. All right, expression base 10. Rewrite this puppy as something you could put in the calculator. Log 5 over 4. That's what I'm looking for. Log 5 over log 4. Why is that in base 10? Because if there's no number for the base, then it assumes base 10. And then the actual answer, you could type that into your calculator. You can use a calculator for it. So you'd do a log 5 divided by log 4 to get that answer. And